I think the time's stroke 11:50, so I will have the pleasure to present Impero. To help me do that, CEO Rikke Skov and CCO Karsten Mayland will help us through the presentation. I know we're only giving you 5 minutes. We're always sorry for that, but to get as many companies in, you know the drill if you have watched it. So I will let it over to you, so don't steal any of your time. Rikke, will you take it from here?
I will. Thank you very much, Michael and Karsten, and thank you for some previous excellent presentations as well. A quick look at what Impero is and does. We deliver a business-to-business software as a service platform that is focused on helping companies comply. We do that through automating risk and control processes across different business areas such as tax, finance, ESG, IT, etc. So if you have compliance areas that you need to report on, document, etc., then you can use Impero. We gather risk assessments, control activities, reporting, and documentation in one single platform. In essence, we are focused on creating trust and transparency. So rising the level of trust and transparency towards a number of stakeholders to companies and organizations. That could be tax authorities, it could be other governmental bodies, it could be stakeholders, shareholders, whatever. We see companies using us for creating this higher level of trust across many areas. The keywords for us, they are all about simplification and ease of use. We are well known for delivering an outstanding platform. It's very easy to implement across global organizations with high levels of complexity and without training of the end users, which makes it very easy and very scalable for us and for the customers. Furthermore, a main driver for the stickiness that we will see, at least in the numbers for Impero shortly when Kasper will be sharing the numbers, that's the very high service level that we see from our international customer support team that makes sure that our customers stay happy as they have onboarded Impero and that they will continuously expand their use of the platform as well. Taking a quick look at our customers, they span many industries and different kinds of ownerships, privately held listed companies, governmental bodies, etc. In general, they span 10 countries, headquartered in 10 countries, but with users in more than 100 countries. And we see a vast majority of the big listed companies in Denmark using Impero. So looking alone at the C25 index, we have 1/3 of those companies. Going a bit south, looking at the German DAX 30, so the biggest listed companies in Germany, we have 3 of the 5 largest listed companies in Germany on our customer portfolio. Taking a quick look at our sales channels, we have 3 different sales channels. So we have the partners that we work closely with, and those are the large global consultancies such as KPMG and PwC, for instance, that bring us to their customers to help their customers raise their level of compliance. And then we have also the direct sales, which is driven by our marketing efforts, but also luckily from clients who choose to, or people working at clients choosing to swap to other companies. They very often want to bring Impero into their new employment. And thirdly, the uplift. So we see approximately 50% of our 2020 growth coming from partners, 25% from the direct sales channel, and 25% from the uplift, which is testament to our customers being really happy with the platform that they are on, wanting to increase the use of Impero into new areas and new parts of their organizations. If you want to know more, the easy way is to go to impero.com and /investors and sign up for our newsletters, and you will be get an email when we have news to share there too. So that was a very brief introduction to Impero. So I think we should go back to you, Kasper.
Thank you, Rikke. I can just take it from here.
Yeah. Rikke introduced you. I think I don't need.
So so let the numbers speak here. Starting from the top, you have a very, very high ARR growth in the last year of 68%. And you also expect to continue this growth rate or just below at 50% with the compound annual growth rate going towards 2023. So you have delivered, and now you also expect that it can continue. And this is of course something that also investors are rewarding. So looking at the churn rate also, this is very important and significantly low. Some market reports estimate that the median churn is around 10 to 15%, and as we see today, many of the companies have lower churn rates, and here we see Impero has even lower than this, and also the uplift is significant. So let's look at the valuation now. We see that you have had a great start of your time on being listed on First North. So investors that were buying you at this time have had a very high return. So now you are actually around the line as we see currently. However, if you continue your ARR growth as you expect, or as Impero expects, then you will also be in, or then you of course will have a multiple that is about 18 next year. Well, it's very important, as I said before, the investors are following the growth rates, and is a very important factor and we can see here for Impero that you are actually placed on the line. So that's cool to see in some way. But let's also look at the factors here as before. Look at the SaaS assessment, and here again, as I say, we kind of evaluate this framework or having the key SaaS metrics as the most important factor, because this is that we should follow as SaaS investors. So again, here you are scoring very high in the green area, and again, the churn rate of course is an important factor here, and the ARR growth. Also the scalability, maybe we can turn back to this one also, but here you have already showed that you have customers in many different geographical areas, and you have, as Rikke you presented before, very strong customers, and some of the largest and most well-known customers. So you have proved it, and now we can turn back to the onboarding time, because of course these large customers maybe are more complex to onboard and the sales process, etc. Technology level is something that we also can return to. Again, it is compared to the whole SaaS sector. So as you said, simplicity and ease of use is the core or the edge of Impero. So this is not a factor that investors really should worry about. And going or moving on to the total addressable market, you have now estimated, or in your company description, that Northwestern Europe and also in some new markets will, if they're scoring high on corruption index and they are very compliant, well, then they are also suitable for your solution. So again, it's also a large market for you, and maybe we can turn back to this in terms of your future expectation on also targeting these markets. But let's go to the questions first of all. You know them, so I hope that you are ready. How can Impero grow above the market? So as we saw before, 50%, which is above these 11 to 14%, and at the same time also retain your existing customers and also upsell as you did with 14% last year. So again, many questions. I hope that it makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'll take this one. Thank you. Actually, it's a lot of questions, but we have the same answer for all of them, and it's actually quite simple. We try to deliver an above average service. To us, it's very important to have happy clients. So being close to the market, being close to our clients, seeing that they get the right platform, but also the service around that platform is crucial to us. We just had an NPS analysis a month ago, and in average we score 9 on a 10 scales from a feedback from our clients. And I think in all fairness, that is about, even though we have a really new and strong technology, good old servicing the biggest companies is very important.
And is that actually alluding to some kind of a strategy on the upselling? Because I think a lot of people might be answering only 14% upselling. You are a small company and you have Volkswagen and you have those big companies. in your portfolio, there must be a huge upselling possibility. And is that in your mindset that if you deliver service in the small parts of those companies where you are, you will be able to maybe increase or at least have a high upselling in the future? Is that why you give us this answer? If I may, maybe it's a little bit thought to about
I think it's fair to say that we have a huge focus on upselling, and we see it as a really nice possibility. Having said that, we are also now in a position where we are scaling. So we are using a lot on upscaling, but we're also using a lot of energy in order to get on board the right people, set up the right offices. We recently set up an office in Germany, and we are still a pretty small company, so we are doing our best running in a lot of directions at the same time.
Cool. And we have touched about the geographical presence already. Maybe you can just say that some of the markets and whether you can penetrate it even more or try to get even more new customers in the 10 countries that you're in now, and also elaborate on your onboarding process and how easy it is for you to scale up your company and your solution.
Yes, but again, if we take that service is our key focus, it's a lot easier for us to focus companies in our time zone. So when we have to service, for instance, North America, Australia, Japan, which are interesting countries as well, we have to build up an additional service. I think it's possible to get maybe one American in Denmark who will sleep all day and service the market all night, but we are going to be really lucky if we can find one. So in that we are focusing on Europe, and the core countries we are focusing on is mainly DACH region and also UK.
Yes, thank you. Moving on to the technology level. So again, here we said that, or I said before, maybe you can elaborate on this, that the technology level is not a very important factor for you in your GRC market. How is your feedback from the customers? Why do they choose Impero, and what is it that your technology are able to or is able to do compared to, for example, other software providers within this market?
One of the things that is really special about Impero is that it is extremely easy to use for the end customers. So we're into the business of making something difficult easy to do. So our brand promise is Compliance Simplified, and that is what we deliver. So we spend a lot of time and we have a lot of energy put into when we have to create solutions to really, really difficult problems, then we need to do it as simple as possible. And that's what we excel at. And obviously it sounds easy, and it sounds, or it may not sound easy, but definitely it isn't easy to do it in real life, but that's what we are really, really good at and what we achieve with our customers. And that's actually what our customers see when they start using Impero, or when we present Impero to potential customers. They see that it is so easy to roll out, and it's so easy to get the impact that you want, so you can actually raise your level of compliance. You can create a much stronger culture around compliance, which is not only a license to operate, but it is becoming even more like an advantage to be on top of that in terms of your position in your marketplace. So it is really about living up to our brand promise of Compliance Simplified.
So it may be a little bit of a leading question, but if I should understand you, the more complicated, the more AI you will put into your system, the more complex it will be for the users, and compliance is actually getting the users to do something. Is that kind of the way you're thinking, or is that?
I think it's fair to say, Michael, that on the longer run, obviously we will put in more and more new things, maybe machine learning, maybe AI. But I think we will stick to the core of being easy to use, and then we will see customers who want to expand it even further, and where we will develop obviously the platform to support many more use cases, and to have APIs to collect things from other systems, and increase your control level in areas that may be turning red or whatever. So obviously we will see that we will add more and more different levels of technologies, but that being said, we will stick to being the simple to use.
Let's jump to the last main question here before we go into the Q&A. So why invest in Impero relative to other SaaS companies? You have delivered strong results and a great start of the IPO. So maybe you can tell us that.
Yeah, sure. I think one of the really, really important answers to this one is that we are actually a proven case. We have shown a really strong product market fit. We have shown that we're able to grow in new markets. We have shown that we're able to keep our customers when they onboard the platform. We have shown that we are able to grow the current customers as well. So we have a very strong foundation to build on moving forward. Also, there is so much more to go and pick up in, for instance, Germany. So we are there, we're doing good, but there are so many more opportunities, and we have shown that we can work with our partners, we can work with the customers, and we can keep them happy. I'd say really the partnerships that we have with these big four consultancies also is a strong, it's a leverage for us into new markets, that we have someone who can actually be like a seal of approval for us when they go to the large customers in new markets. The high service level that we have already talked about is also what gives us this really high stickiness that is testament to, well, a high service level, a great platform, etc. And then I'd say we have a really strong team. We are continuously building it. We have new people coming in today since it's the 1st of June. But we have a really strong team, and we think it's all about people, and that's what we will continue to build on.
Perfect. Maybe we should catch on from the audience. Who's making the implementation out by the customer? Is it you, or is it your partners that does the implementation, meaning a little bit easier, scalability or going into a customer?
It depends a bit on the situation. So we have customers who have everything in place already, but want to support it by a strong platform. We can very easily do that implementation. If we're looking at customers, could be Volkswagen, for instance, who are moving going into a new area where they want to lift their level of compliance considerably, then they will use our partners to do this. It's not a very, it's actually not a big job for us to do the implementations, so we can have customers up and running in just a few days. But it differs a bit from how mature the customer is in the area that they want to support.
And another question about the scalability. Do you need to alter your platform to different countries, or is it the same platform? So it is scalable in that technology way.
It's the same platform for everybody.
Perfect. That was a fast answer. Then I need to catch up on the next question. Maybe you have gone down, Kasper.
Yeah, we can also talk about the market again, right? So
on the question side.
I think there is the more.
Yeah. Sorry, my mouse can't catch the.
Well, I think that we got the
questions. Yeah. So let's you can ask a little bit more.
Just the final question here. So you are especially interested in the DACH region. You said before, Karsten. What do you see here in this market in relation or compared to, for example, the Nordics? Why is it more attractive for you to be there? Can you elaborate on this?
Yes, I can do that. I think we are, first and foremost, we are focusing on the larger, more complex companies. And we can just see that there are a lot more bigger companies in the DACH region than in, for instance, Norway and Sweden, Denmark and Finland. So that is one focus. Another focus is that we actually see that the DACH region is very focused on being compliant. And for instance, within tax, we actually see that there are some huge fines if they don't have the risk and control framework in place. So therefore, it's natural for us. Secondly, Germany is typically, from a Danish point of view, a very difficult market to enter. But we have a really strong partnership with KPMG, and in that partnership, we feel secure. So in order for us to build relations with Volkswagen and Siemens within a period of 2 years and signing orders is actually quite unique. And we believe that we can be even stronger in the DACH region.
Perfect. Let that be the closing remarks. Thank you for taking us very briefly through to your company. I know you would like to say more, but this is the agenda this time. I'm sure we will meet up later and go more into detail. So thank you to Rikke and Karsten.
Thanks for having us.
Have a great